Alright, as you can see right now, we have everything connected. This skewer is actually not something you need. I put it through there because of the shape of the tool. I wanted it to stay centered as you see it here. Robin's going to explain why in a moment. And now those metal flakes down there, that's just for me connecting the negative terminal to the tool. The process is starting right now with the power being on. And here we go with Robin, who's going to be explaining the purpose of the anodes in this experiment.
Okay, basically the anode is the sacrificial metal, which is connected to the red charger, which is the positive connection. And the reason for the positive connection is because it actually accepts electrons. And what you'll see is we actually have one piece of sacrificial metal at each end connected by a separate wire, so that the charge would go from the big connection over to the little connection there. And that's because the tool is a shovel and it's rusted on both sides. So we need to have the anode able to pull the rust off of it from each side. Basically what the positive does is actually going to take electrons, so it's going to actually oxidize. The oxidation, which is a chemical reaction where something gives up electrons. And then we're actually going to see a reduction as well at the surface of the water, which is going to be creating the oxygen.
And now we're going to go to Yolanda, who is going to explain the purpose of the negative connection that we have made here in the middle of our tub.
Hey everybody, right here is called the cathode, and it's connected to the negative wire battery charger, and it supplies electrons. Water and rusty iron, they're reduced, and it begins a reduction of water that produces the hydrogen. And when you see the little bubbles, see all the little bubbles down there? All the little bubbles are creating a type of hydrogen gas. The evaporation of the hydrogen gas plays a beneficial role in this process due to the fact, hey, see this part right here? Due to the fact that all the tiny bubbles are forming at the surface, and what it's doing is creating a mechanism to make a blast off. So it's blasting off all the rust, as Robin explained earlier, from both sides. That's what this is helping do also. So it's not just taking the rust from one side or the other, it's taking it from both sides. Loosen the rust, grease, and paint remover.
So this process actually is not very quick. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to turn the camera off here in a moment, and we'll do a time lapse. I'll briefly tie back into segments so you can see the progress of this. Again, the oxygen coming off the anode, the sacrificial plate, and hydrogen coming off the cathode, which is blasting off the rust. And you'll also see later on that there's going to be rust stuck to these sacrificial anodes. And then the cathode, as this comes near to completion, is going to turn black, which is black oxide, and it's called magnetite is the term for it afterwards. I guess that's what they use on film and such. So we will be back to you guys in a little while to check on the progress of our experiment here, and we'll see how it goes.